is that what is this business of taking Italians and Portuguese and Afrikaners and blacks and coloureds and Indians? And I have an answer for them, that Greeks that had a state within a state in Asia Minor, in Egypt, in other parts of the world, lost everything. We don't want to make that mistake in South Africa. And this is why, when they ask us, how many Indians have you got? How many coloureds have you got? How many blacks have you got? Our answer is we have 1,300 pupils. They all learn Greek. And I quote Socrates, you probably heard me doing that, that took the Athenians to task because they wanted to categorize King Philip of Macedonia as a barbarian. And I say, you know, King Philip had a son called Alexander. And the Athenians, who had sent Aristotle into exile, was welcomed in Macedonia and became the tutor of Alexander the Great. And the Socrates, not Socrates, is Socrates, when they said that Philip is not a Greek, said, he is a Greek who hath partaken of our learning. I'm very proud to be told that there is a couple, they are lawyers, like me, and they have 2 children. The father is of Portuguese origin, the mother is of Italian origin. And if the children are asked, what are they at the school? They say, they are Greek. Having heard that, I happened to meet the parents at a function. I asked them, how do you feel about your children calling themselves Greek? And the mother was more talkative than the father. And she said, no, we have no problem with them calling themselves Greek. The only problem that we have is that they are teenagers. And when they want to hide from us what they are talking about, they are speaking Greek. And we get upset. What is it that they've got to keep secret from us? We got an Afrikaner boy who got a distinction in Greek after 3 years at the school. Stop. He got 10 distinctions. You probably know him. So we are proud that we have a culture, and it doesn't matter what you read. You find Greek words, Greek precepts, Greek thought. And I think we have achieved something of which we should be proud, not only to the contribution that we have made to members of the Greek community, but to people as a whole. There are some who say that if we are not careful, we will be outnumbered. It's not going to happen. The graduates of Saheti get priority, which is natural. And I hear with some pride that as soon as a child is born, they come and enroll him in order to not to be turned away, which is not likely to happen. And I think that we have achieved something not only for the Greeks, but for the children of other origin. And I think that we are making a contribution of imparting good education to all, irrespective of color or belief. I noticed that we have a number of Chinese children. I have a friend, a fellow lawyer, and I said, I asked him, I said, you know, what prompts Chinese parents to send children to Saheti? And he said, you know what? It's the only private school that does not try to proselytize our children. And I'm proud of it. Yes. And you know that we got a girl who could hardly speak English. Her parents came over from China. She had 3 or 4 years here, and she got almost half a dozen distinctions as a result of paying the attention to her particular needs. So we are proud of what we are doing. And of course, we are very careful about the children, the teachers that we choose. We have attracted very good teachers, partly because of the circumstances, beautiful scenery, an ethos that good educationists want to partake in, and we have a good reputation amongst the academia of the country, and I just hope that we go from better to better.
Tell me, Bizo, when you stood here many, many years ago, when there was no highways, there were no roads cut, I don't know to what extent the school had been built at that stage, but you had a vision. You said you had people around you who helped you and they were good. But now that you sit back and you think about that time that you stood on this piece of land and had this dream and this vision, could you have imagined that all this that surrounds us today would be the way it is?
It has exceeded my expectations. And I think that is because we have a very good team of teachers. And we have a heritage. Equal to none. I have a 2-volume, thick volume Oxford Dictionary. Every time I have to prepare a talk or a lecture, I look up the words that I use because I don't want to claim. I don't want to claim that Greek is a rich language, but I look up. recently I was